welcome to Write to Read Week. Today we're going to talk to students, see what they think about books. What is your guys' favorite book?
My favorite books are probably A through Z mystery books.
My favorite is Diary of the Wimpy Kid. My favorite books are Diary of the Wimpy Kid as well.
My favorite books are Dogman. My favorite books are Dogman as well.
Who is your guys' favorite authors?
My favorite author is Ron Roy.
Mine is Jeff Kinney. Mine is Jeff Kinney.
Dave Pinkley. Dave Pinkley as well.
Why do you guys like to read?
I like to read because it entertains me sometimes when I'm bored, and then I can just also try to get my goals and try to get more IQ.
I like to read because on rainy days it's just nice and peaceful. I like to read because it's something to keep me entertained and it's a fun thing to do.
I just like to read. What? I do. I just like to read. I like to read because it keeps me entertained all the time.
What would you say to someone who doesn't like to read?
I would probably try to suggest them to try to read, because reading, it kind of entertains you, and if you don't really know reading, what is that?
I would give them a book and I would just say, just read right now. I'd probably give them a couple choices of books and see what they like and what they don't like.
I'll just throw a book at their face and make them read it. I would say what books that maybe they'll be entertained and stuff.
Thank you, everyone. Let's hear from some other students around the school.
Why do you like reading?
Because you get to learn about stuff.
I think I like to read, one, because it gives me quiet time. I love that it helps me use my imagination. And I also like to read stories that help me learn about places and maybe adventures that I've never seen before.
You can learn new stuff in a book, and they can be very intriguing.
Well, I think the thing I enjoy most about reading is if you can read, you can do anything. You can find out how to do things. So it's very entertaining to me that way, but I also like that I can be transported to a different time, a different era, a different city. There is nothing like your mind to make up what you're reading and to paint a picture for you. So that's why I think I enjoy most about reading.
Mostly the fantasy kind of world that you're in, the way that you can be in any world that you want to, and also the knowledge that comes with reading. I think learning how to read or learning how to read proficiently is something that most people should know how to do, and I think that any information that can come out of books, whether it's a biography or look into someone's life, whatever, I think that's important to know. I think knowledge is power. It's one of the virtues I live by.
I like to read because you can imagine what's happening in the book.
Being able to dive into your own world, there are so many possibilities when you read. There are all these different characters and opportunities, and there are so many different books to choose from. The possibilities are just endless.
I like to read because it's thrilling and also relaxing, and it brings a big imagination to my mind.
When you read, you can learn new things and that you didn't know, and you can find something that you're very interested in and learn to like that.
Go to the library and get a book, and there's a bunch of different kind of books we can read, and that's just fun.
You get to learn stuff that you never have ever learned.
There's many different things that you can read, and it can just bring you to other stories and more.
What's your favorite book? The Pout Pout Fish.
Called The 5 People You Meet in Heaven.
Diary of a Pug.
The Giver.
War of the Worlds.
Let's go for a drive.
Harry Potter.
The whole Harry Potter series
Ivy and
was The Giver.
Harry Potter.
Oh, I like to read historical drama.
It's beautiful. Oops.
Harry Potter.
Where the Crawdads Sing.
Maze Runner, The Desk Chair.
The Lightning Thief.
The Hunger Games. Fire and Wimpy Kid. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Flat Fairy in the Firehouse.
The Cat in the Hat.
Probably The Cat in the Hat.
Wonder, James and the Giant Peach.
In bold print.
How about you, Maria?
My favorite book is also in bold print.
Who's your favorite author? Jeff Kinney.
John Adams.
I like J.K. Rowling.
Barbara Kingsolver.
Lewis Lowry.
Don Freeman.
Dr. Seuss.
Roald Dahl.
Lois Lowry. Jodi Picoult. C.S. Lewis.
Booyah Kasha.
Hey, Mr. Foley.
Hey, Sal.
What
What would you say to your students who don't like to read?
Students who don't like to read, I would say keep reading. Probably because they haven't found the right book yet, and there's lots of great books out there, from nonfiction to fiction, all types of authors. So,
Thank you.
no, Sal, thank you.
Gosh, if you don't like to read, that I think that's kind of sad, because reading to me is a great way to relax. It's a great way to open my mind up to something different that I haven't gotten to experience before, to imagine myself in another place or in another time. And I think it's a great way to escape some of the other stresses that are going on in life. So to me, it's kind of sad. I hope that you maybe try something different to read if you haven't before. Maybe that will help you to explore and see the joy of reading.
I think that it often is just they haven't found books that they like, and that if you find the right material to read, it can be a lot of fun.
To try and find something that they're really interested in, and maybe a book that might be a little bit easier for them to read, because most of the time when you don't like to read, it's because you can't figure out what the words mean, or maybe the book is too hard for us to read. So definitely find something that you're really excited about.
There's people who don't like to read? Huh, well, start off by saying boo to you, Winnie the Pooh. That's A.A. Milne for you right there. But if you don't like to read, I think I'd start off with, if you have any sort of imagination whatsoever, reading is going to help you take that imagination to new heights. It's going to take you a lot further than you've been before. So what I would say is, if you haven't had a chance and you don't like to read, you probably haven't found the right book. And the only way to find the right book is to keep reading.
All right, so I get this question a lot as a teacher. Students that don't like to read, I would say there is truly, I honest to goodness believe every student is a reader. Even if students that say I don't like to read at all, they just need to find the book that's right for them. Maybe it's an author, maybe it's a genre, maybe it's where you're looking for these books, because we kind of, those of us that have been to different libraries know every library is going to offer different kind of books, right? So I would say try different libraries, every teacher has their library set up differently in different types of books. So I would say just keep trying. Both of my brothers did not like to read at all, and then when they became adults, they loved it. It took them till then to find what they loved, but they do love it. So everyone can love to read. It's just finding what you like.
You know, reading is good for your brain, just like vegetables are good for your body. So kids that don't like vegetables, maybe they just haven't found the vegetable they like yet. So if there's a kid who doesn't like to read, maybe they just haven't found the book they like yet. They should keep looking.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses, but if reading isn't easy for you or you don't enjoy doing it, maybe just keep trying. Find a way to make it fun and go visit Mr. Foley, because he always has the best book recommendations.
I bet I would say they haven't found the right book yet. I will say there is so many different ways to read. There's audiobooks nowadays, there's paper books, right? There's Kindles. I think that maybe they just haven't found the right one yet, right? I know I grew up with a librarian as a mother, so I have always been given so many books to read. And there's so many teachers in the school that would love to find you a book that would interest you. And I bet if you find the right one, it'll really interest you to read. I still love reading. My favorite thing is to go to the beach and read a book.
Students who don't like to read, first of all, I would ask them to give it another chance, because reading can take you to so many different places. It can also help you do so many different things. It can help you build an engine. It could help you fix something. It could help you understand other people, experience emotion. Books help you understand, and understanding helps you feel. The other thing that you might want to think about is that maybe you haven't found the genre that suits you. Now, genre is just a fancy name for the category or type of book that it is. So maybe try something different, like historical fiction, or even nonfiction, or fantasy, or even poetry. So if you think you don't like to read, give it another chance.
We're talking to second graders to see what they think about reading. What are your guys' favorite book?
I didn't read. Dr. Seuss. I like Joan of Arc. The book that has no pictures.
Oh, that's a good one. My parents used to read me that all the time.
My grandma always, she really never wanted to say the words because every time we wanted her to read it, she said, no. 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 I am not going to read that book because if I read that book, I know there's going to be funny words. So we always read another book that had pictures.
What's your favorite book?
Harry Potter.
What are your guys' favorite authors?
Dr. Seuss. Animal Ark. What is it made? And like, what's the author in that book?
She forgets. Moving on. What's your favorite author?
Pam Pollock. Mo Willems. J.K. Rowling.
Why do you guys like to read?
Because it like teaches you about stuff. It's funny. And it has interesting facts about people. You can learn about some stuff inside it. You can basically read about anything.
What would you guys say to students who don't like to read?
I would say you need to like start reading and experience what it's like.
I would say if you don't read, you won't get smarter.
Start small, get bigger. I would say you have to read or else you have no brain.
Oh.
You're supposed to always have a brain. Cooper says he has no brain. So
What?
Not my fault.
What would you say to students who don't like to read?
I would say find a book that you like and then like keep reading that series.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Have fun reading.